It's my pleasure to welcome in on the phone Jacoby from the band Papa Roach. Morning, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking. And yourself?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Now, you're obviously touring. You're doing Soundwave and Aussie at the moment. You're going to be here real soon in New Zealand to play Westfest 15. Now, last time I remember you being here, and I don't know if you remember this, was a couple of years back now, but there was a guy that worked for the radio station I used to work for. He was a little bit crazy, who asked for your clothes after you got off stage, and you gave them to him. He then washed them and started wearing them everywhere.
Actually, I do remember that. That was I remember the radio personality dude was just like super flamboyant, loud, boisterous dude.
Yeah.
And that was a fun run for us. We did dates with the Chili Peppers, which was like for us freaking amazing.
Yeah, that would have been, and that gentleman, you'll not be surprised to know, was so flamboyant and so party. He is now retired from the radio industry and mowing lawns in Sydney.
Oh,
bit of a career change for that gentleman.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes like that.
Yeah. It went sideways rapidly at one point, but that's all right. That's another whole nother conversation. We had to talk about you coming here, but also your new record, F.E.A.R. And I was looking at the record, and I was listening to the record, and I'm going, first single, Face Everything and Rise. And I sing in a band, and I write all our lyrics and stuff, and I looked at it and I went, okay, which way around did you do this? Did you write a song called Face Everything and Rise and go, hey, well, that spells F.E.A.R., great name for an album? Or did you go, what can we fit around F.E.A.R.?
Well, this is how it came about. A good friend of mine from the UK had this tattoo on her neck. It said F.E.A.R. I'm like, why you got F.E.A.R. tatted on your neck? And she was like, Face Everything and Rise, you cunt. And I was like, yes, that's what's up. Yeah. And, it clicked. I was like, dude, that's my life right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I used to pretty much do the exact opposite, was, F everything and run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just think that space, that headspace that I was coming from, and that at that point in my life, I wanted to write a record about it. And I wrote that on the wall in the studio, Face Everything and Rise. And every song the band would write, I kept trying to fit that lyric in a chorus, and it just didn't fit anywhere. I'm like, man, I want to name the record Face Everything and Rise, but I just feel like it needs to be in a song.
Yeah.
And finally, when the guys wrote the music for Face Everything and Rise, I tried it again with that one, and I was like, finally, it found its home. And it just seemed very fitting for, the life of the record, the element, the headspace I was coming from, and just that kind of posi-core movement that I'm living my life in, that I just wanted to represent.
How different are you now, do you think? If you look back on, you're talking about it used to be Face Everything and Run, or Fuck Everything and Run, but how different are you now to when, I don't know, when Infest came out? I mean, do you look back and think, if I'd known now what I knew then, or the other way around?
Yeah, man, it's a trip, dude. I look back at, kind of growing up in this business and being in a rock and roll band, and my highs and my lows and whatnot. And, I just lived my life straight, young, and reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't give a fuck, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I did that for a lot of years, man, and I really destroyed a lot of relationships, really messed up my self-worth and everything, man. And, I just kind of look at myself now, my life then, and it's like, dude, I was just young, dumb, and full of cum, you know what I'm saying? And, like, now it's like years later, I'm like, I'm 15 years older than I was, and then we dropped our first record, and you live and learn. And it's people ask me, what would your older self tell your younger self, any kind of advice? And I'm like, nah, I just save my breath, man, because my younger self wouldn't have listened at all. So I'm the kind of guy that just got to, trial by fire, dude. I got to learn by my own mistakes. And, I look at where I'm at now, and I wouldn't change anything,
Well, where did the turning point come for you? Because I mean, there is a marked change in the sound of Papa Roach around that Metamorphosis time. Is that kind of when things change around for you as well?
I mean, for me, it's been a constant evolution creatively in this band. Even before we put out our first record, Infest, we put out 2 cassettes, 2 EPs, and a full-length record independently. and we started as a funk punk band, and then evolved into bringing rap and metal into the music, and so it's always been a constant stream of like pushing our sound and pushing our style, and we got a little bit of like a sense of musical ADD in a sense, that we're always trying new things, and I think that goes to the music that we're listening to, the new bands we like, the old bands we like, and so it's natural for Papa Roach.
Yeah, I mean, I think, F.E.A.R is probably, you're going down slightly down a more darker, more metal sound, I think. For me, it feels like the most metal album that you've done. So from that point of view, what influenced that, and what are you listening to that's maybe made you go, hey, this is the direction I want to take stuff?
Well, I think over the course of the last, 4 to 5 years, really become a really big fan of Lamb of God. I love that band. Also, some of these new younger bands that are coming up and really kind of defining their own style, like bands like Bring Me the Horizon and Of Mice and Men. But then also, digging back into the stuff that we liked earlier on, some of that hardcore music like Snapcase and Refused, and letting those elements influence the music as well. And, just also, we got a new drummer like 7 years ago, and he grew up playing some double kick, and so we were like, all right, cool, we can play double kick, let's set that other kick drum up and see what we could do. And started writing tracks like Where Did the Angels Go, or songs like Broken As Me or Skeletons, and just having those songs with a little more bombastic metal edge to it.
You say we got a new drummer 7 years ago. Is he still the new kid, or did you guys learn from the Metallica experience?
He'll always be the new guy, but it's like we don't haze him, or it's like he's part of us, dude. He's a brother, you know what I'm saying? And it's just he's been around long enough to be one of us, you know what I mean? And he's part of the family.
In terms of writing now, Jacoby, how's the writing thing changed for you, evolved for you over those 15 years? I mean, the things that you were angry about 15 years ago have probably changed now. Where do you pull your inspiration from?
Well, it's like I look back at what I was writing about 15 years ago, and the things that, lit me up and lit me on fire and pissed me off still fucking piss me off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's social injustices in this world. There's political injustices in this world. There's a war inside myself that rages on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for me, those things are still alive. Do I approach the music in the same way as far as the writing process? No. We used to bash it out in a room together, just like, without modern technology on our side. It was just like we'd over and over rehearse parts, where on this new record we went into the studio with no material written, put up a click, and then just started working on songs. And so it's definitely evolved for us in the songwriting process, but I think the headspace that I come from is still pretty similar. It's just the way that it comes out creatively is different.
So if I had to put you on the spot now and say, okay, you're a songwriter and you're a lyricist and you're a vocalist, so what would, looking back over the 15 years, what song would you be proudest of, or what line are you that every time you sing it, think, yeah, I nailed it when I wrote that line?
I think in the song Last Resort, when I wrote the line, can't go on living this way, I think that's been a very motivating line for me over the course of my life, you know what I'm saying? Because I've always found myself in that place where I feel like I need to elevate from those moments where I'm in my darkest point in my life, and I just keep calling out, like, I can't go on living this way, like I got to change, I got to evolve, I got to push. And I think that's what's really kind of helped me survive in this business. I've struggled with, some substance abuse issues over the course of my life. And, since that, I put that shit to rest. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 years off the bottle and off the pills and drugs and stuff like that. And so, I think that line really kind of says it.
Jacoby, taking things at a slightly different angle, say you get here from Soundwave and we've got a day to kill, me and you. What do you like to do in your downtime? Where would you want me to take you?
Dude, let's go to a botanical garden.
Yeah.
Then let's find our way to the ocean. Jump in that bitch. Then I'd like to learn how to surf.
Yeah.
Which would probably take the rest of the day because I've never surfed before. I'd probably start on a longboard, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the rest of the day and then some.
Then cap it off with some ill seafood and a comedy show.
Nice. Oh, it's good to know. It's good to get to know, the guy that we see on stage and whose lyrics we read, from a slightly different angle. So on that, I also do, I sort of tend to finish every interview with a top 5 or a quick five questions.
Okay.
And one of those, the first question is, what was the first album that somebody played for you that made you go, fuck yes, rock and roll, heavy metal, punk, whatever it was, this is what I want to do?
First record that really fucking changed me. I would say the first record that really truly changed me and turned me on to rock music was Led Zeppelin 2. And my stepdad gave me the cassette tape. He saw me listening to Poison open up and say, and he's like, nah, dude, check this shit out. And I remember when I put that thing in my Walkman cassette player, we were on a camping trip, and I listened to that thing over and over and over and over. Like literally played one side, turned it over, played the other side, then turned it over and played that other side, and just was obsessed with that record.
That is a great record. That is a great record to have as the first record that turned you onto this. Okay, well, we've kind of slightly covered this, but I'll ask anyway because it is one of the standard 5. I know you're off the bottle and you're off the the drugs and things. But what is your poison these days? What's the one thing that is your go-to?
Oh, my go-to, my wife's vagina. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if she'd like us calling that poison, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Oh, well, I try to live that poison-free life. You know what I'm saying? Food, sugar.
Yeah.
I have an inner fat child that's dying to get out.
Quality, man, quality. You'll have to try Whittaker's chocolate when you get here.
Oh, yeah, I'll fuck that shit up.
Yeah, it's good, man, it's good. All right, question number 3 for you, sir, is what is the most disgusting personal habit of someone you've toured with?
I don't know if it's pretty gnarly, dude. I always just see my friend, and he'll pick his ear, and he doesn't even notice it. He'll put his finger in his ear, and then he'll sniff it. And I'm like, what the? And he doesn't. It's totally subconscious, dude. I told him all, dude, you pick your ear and smell your finger. He's all, no, I don't. And I caught him with video.
What did he say when you showed him the video?
He's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, I don't even realize I do that. It's like one of those you know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude.
All right. Well, outside of having radio DJs from the other side of the world ask for your clothes post-show, what is the weirdest fan experience you've had?
Weirdest fan experience. I would have to say I was in my hotel room, and I was taking a shower, and one of my boys was like, yo, dude, I'm going to come down, and bring you some reefer. I'm like, perfect, dude. So I'm in the shower, I get done, and I was gonna fuck with him, and I put a sock on my dick and put a towel around my waist, and somebody knocked on my door, and I opened the door and fling my towel down on the ground, and I'm standing there, I'm like, what's up? And this chick starts snapping photos of me, and I'm going, what the fuck? Hold on. Slam the door shut, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I'm sorry, I wanted to come meet you, and I asked the hotel what room number you were in, and I'm like, oh, my God, can you please get rid of those photos? And she's like, no, I totally will. I'm so sorry. And I was just like, awkward moment.
Very awkward. All right. Jacoby, before we let you go, a kid comes up to you and says to you, man, what is heavy metal? And you can give him one record. Which record do you give him?
Black Sabbath, Paranoid.
That, sir, is a very good answer to go with their first answer there of Led Zeppelin 2. Those are both very good vintages and great choices. Yeah. That is outstanding. Well, good people, make sure you're at Westfest to see Papa Roach. Go out and buy F.E.A.R. Now, learn all the words, get up front, and show the boys in Papa Roach a good time. Jacoby, you have been fantastic. Thanks very much for your time, sir.
Right on, man. Nice chatting with you, dude, and hopefully I'll cross paths with you when I roll up to New Zealand, bro.